What's up, you guys? This is Zay Brooks, and this is episode 15 of a show that I do not know the title to yet. It's been raining a lot in San Francisco, so I decided to come out while the sun is out. It's awesome. It feels so good. And today, I want to talk about positivity. Yesterday, after I had recorded my last episode, I had to get on the train and get on another train to get to my flight from New York back to San Francisco. I ended up getting in line for the TSA, and I thought I was going to be able to make my flight. It ended up taking like 35 minutes, and I just missed my flight. And I just want to speak on that experience. So while I was in line, I had understood that I cannot control what happens. I ultimately controlled when I show up. So I can't be mad at anybody else except myself for my lack of accountability, my lack of time perception. I should have assumed the worst, that it was going to take really long to get through TSA at JFK, one of the most famous airports in the world, right? Another thing to hold myself accountable for in the past tense is I should have TSA pre. For as much as I travel, there's no way that I don't have TSA pre. And that's another thing that I ultimately take accountability for. And those two reasons are why, I didn't make the flight. And I think that's super important to understand, is that if you really want to take accountability in your life and do something that hasn't been done before and have a certain level of perception, you need to be able to zoom out of things and figure out why you allowed those things to happen, being the CEO of your life. Someone's not talking to you the right way, or someone's disrespecting you, or you constantly allow them to invalidate you, or just whatever the case may be at your job, you're getting treated poorly. At the end of the day, you are in control of your reality. You are the CEO of your reality. So you can't get mad at someone more than you would at yourself. Obviously, there are situations where you didn't know something was going to happen. Somebody sprung this up on you, and they made you experience an emotion of being mad for how they treated you. But further on, moving forward, you can now dictate how you can avoid situations like that. You're not going to be perfect, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I take full accountability for everything that happens in my life, both the good, the bad, the worse. I am the co-creator of my reality with God. So the second part that I wanted to talk about was at the point that I had missed my flight, and this is why we're getting into the episode of positivity. During that whole time, I had convinced myself through positive self-talk to stay positive. The entire time while I'm waiting through security, and while I'm at my gate and they tell me to go to this other place to help and all these things, I'm telling myself, stay positive. And I remember vividly saying this. I would say, when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. If I choose to be negative, naturally, it will pour more negativity out. Another thing will piss me off. Another thing will make me mad. Somebody else will end up doing something that I don't like. If I choose to live in that reality of, oh my God, woe is me. This is terrible. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's a completely different situation when you choose to be positive instead, right? And I'll get to that in a second, but I ended up going to the gate, missed it. They were like, yeah, you need to go over here and get help. I go to this lady. I'm super nice. And I think there are positive things to gain from being positive. When you have a nice attitude and you greet and treat people with respect, and don't, my dad always said, don't share your misfortune. It's that saying where they say, it's contagious, right? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. It's like victimhood. People love to share their victimhood and make other people feel that way, or love to share their negative energy. I forgot the saying. I always do this, but the lady ended up giving me a break, and she gave me another ticket to the next flight. I think I was supposed to pay a certain amount of money for that flight because I missed it or whatever. But in any case, I just really tried my best to stay positive. And I had thought about you guys, and I was like, man, this is great to talk about something about being positive. I think God places opportunities in your life all the time where you can choose to be positive. It's a decision that you have to make. The reality in front of you, it's 10% of what happens and 90% of how you react to it, right? Your mind perceives how you want to when it comes to things that happen to you in your reality, both positive and negative, right? It's like, we easily program ourselves to be positive when good things happen and be negative when bad things happen. But imagine if you could train your mind to see and zoom out and look at the positivity when something is negative. I think that's the secret juice to manifesting things of your dreams, allowing God to work in your life. And while I was sitting there, I had 2.5 hours. My flight was at 12:30. Ended up getting pushed over to 4. I had used that time that I may not have had otherwise, because you don't have internet in the air for 5.5 hours. I used that time to have discussions with business partners. I even talked to my mentors. I got some stuff done for brand deals and things of that nature. So I used that time in a positive manner. I didn't spend that time complaining or moping. There was a couple moments where I did. Sure, I was like, this sucks. This is unfortunate, and I need to get a PSA. I need to get a TSA pre. It's good to get bit in the ass. Don't get me wrong. I didn't fake it and try to act like somebody I'm not. I definitely allowed the moment and the emotion of frustration and potential anger to run through my body. But then the perception, my mind's eye, was perceptive enough to stop it in its tracks. It's not like you're supposed to suppress emotions. You're supposed to allow emotions to flow through them. Someone treats you wrong. Someone does something bad to you, or something weird happens. You ultimately have the decision to react how you want to in the long term. You can't control your emotions. That's the whole point of them. What I'm saying is, once your mind's eye, how quickly can your mind's eye perceive that you're frustrated, perceive that you're mad? How quick can that happen? And then you change into the person that you want to be, the highest version of yourself, somebody that's not negative and frustrated and allowing the rain to pour in essence, right? When you choose to turn and be positive, there are moments where it will take a little bit longer to perceive that and recognize and take a deep breath and then move forward in your positivity. But once you become really perceptive, right? Once you're able to really step back, the Untethered Soul talks about, if you can sit back in your mind's eye and watch things happen in your reality, then your discernment, the way you handle your emotions, the way you go about life, the way you manifest reality will change drastically. All because you're willing to zoom out and watch your life unfold in front of you. Your soul, I'm going to take you into deep waters here. Your soul exist in this human 3-dimensional avatar, right? So if I can allow myself to separate my soul from my body, and what I mean by that is being able to zoom out and understand that we are a soul engaging in a human experience. Although our avatar may experience things, our soul gets to dictate truly what it experiences. That's why you have people living, ignorance is bliss, right? People will live in a shitty situation, or a lot of things will be terrible, but you see them walking around skipping and laughing and joking because the perception of their reality exists in their mind's eye. Although there's stimuli that come towards the avatar, your soul, your being gets to dictate what you want to do with those thoughts, with those stimuli, with those things that happen in your life. What I'm trying to explain to you is that you can make a conscious decision to be positive, and there are situations where it ends up having negative emotions, but your perception and your mind's eye within a certain amount of time can choose for it to be positive. That is the skill that I'm trying to get you to understand. Some people, it takes years for them to get mad about something, and they finally let it go, and their perception comes in and they realize that it's more better to be positive. Some people it takes months, some people it takes weeks, some people it takes hours, minutes, seconds, right? That's what I'm trying to say is, can you close that gap into positivity? It's impossible to be positive 100% of the time. It's impossible to be anything 100% of the time. That's not what I'm telling you, to suppress the emotions and not be have moments of anger or frustration. Those are naturally going to happen. These will flare up in your body. It's just the sway of your aura. It's just how it works. There are moments and feelings for everything, right? You know, yin and yang. You're going to have as many positive experiences as you are negative. That's just the amount of what it is to be human, right? That's why the Asian community, you know, especially in ancient times, they love the idea of yin and yang, because it's both positive and negative. But just because the stimuli or the instance or the phenomenon is positive or negative doesn't mean that your soul has to forever perceive them as positive and negative. You accept the positive and you have gratitude and you're not too high, and you don't feel a level of scarcity with this positive moment, almost experiencing negative in the positive. Oh, this is so good, but I don't know if this is going to keep happening. I don't know if this is going to be here for a while. And then on the negative side, you just lean into it so much. You say, oh man, I'm stuck here. This is terrible. Why does this keep happening to me? Why do all these things happen? But instead, in this positive and negative flow, which is inevitable, choosing to be filled with gratitude in the positive, filled with gratitude, that's all you can be. In the present moment, filled with gratitude. And at the bottom, understanding that there is some sort of reason for everything as to why this was negative, why this had happened. What am I going to learn from this experience? Do I just sit here and mope and complain and learn nothing from it so that I make the same mistake again and not have the right timing in the airport and don't get TSA pre just to go through the same cycle? That's like, my life is too short to go through a negative cycle like that again. I sat there for a moment and was mindful, and I was like, no, I needed this, I needed to understand that for as much as I travel, it would be a no-brainer to have TSA pre so I can have better timing when I come to the airport and fly wherever it is that I'm going, I think that's super important for people to understand. So positivity is something that you choose. It's not, I put myself in positive positions and I never am around a negative person, or if something gets negative at a party, I leave. No. You don't try to hide in this super positive world. It's impossible. What you do is you choose positivity. You make it yours. You allow your body to feel the emotions that you need to feel, but then your mind's eye, your perception, your ability to have self-awareness can change how your reaction is to the thing that happened to you. Like I said, it takes seconds, minutes, hours. I don't know how long it takes, but it's an art to close that gap. And how quickly do you choose positivity? I hope I'm not bouncing around all over the place, and I understand that I'm talking about your soul and your third dimensional being, and I just don't want to make you guys seem like I'm on some tinfoil hat stuff, but these are things that I believe to be true. These books that I've read from a lot of people who feel the same things when it comes to manifestation and just your soul and your being and how it works in correspondence with reality, and how when you die, an instant amount of weight gets lifted from your body. It's like you lose a certain amount of weight because it's almost like a sense of being, or a part of you leaves your body. And people, when they die, they have these experiences of hold on one second. They have I thought he was going to keep beeping, but you have these experiences of near death where you meet certain people and you have these fruitions. And for me, I believe that the soul is very real. I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe that there is a creator out there that is filling the gaps and making everything happen. I think that there's a creator to this entire reality and existence, the universe, all of it. How is it that we're so far away from the sun and all these things work and we breathe oxygen and the trees give us that, but we give them carbon dioxide? It's too good to be true, in my opinion. So that's just what I believe. And as I keep growing, as you guys get more acclimated with the stuff I'm talking about, I feel like I can go into deeper waters there, talking about some very metaphysical, esoteric concepts. But for now, I just want to stick to the basics. So one thing I want to talk about is my best friend, right? We played college basketball together. Just one of my best friend. And one thing that I'll say about him is our practices were very difficult. You know what it's like to be a college athlete? Practice is different. Your coach expects so much out of you to be successful, to be somebody. You're getting paid to go to school, so to play your sport. So you have to kind of show out and just be the best version of yourself. For me, I was always the type of person where I'm just going to get through it. I have just a good sense of stamina. I just know how to get through things. I can even at times dissociate if there's something that I really don't want to do, but I know it needs to be done. My best friend is on the other side of it. He genuinely enjoys the moment, and he loved to be positive. He would just always be screaming out positive things. Let's go, guys. Let's get it together. Even to the point where it almost seemed like fake to me, because he was my best friend and I know. And I'm like, man, I wonder why he did that. I wonder why that was the case. Well, funny enough, me and him were the two captains, and one of my other friends as well. We ended up having one of the best seasons in school history. And he was a very successful basketball player for my university. He was one of the top guys all time. And it made me realize that positivity is truly contagious, not just around other people, but to yourself. If you can positively self-talk out loud, your subconscious mind is listening, and therefore you become more positive. It's almost something cyclical within yourself when you choose positivity, when you choose to proclaim positivity time and time again, even when things in your view may not be positive. It may be a negative situation. You can choose, even almost fake it, to where your subconscious listens and turns on that perception that we actually live in a positive reality no matter what's happening in front of my face. With other people in our practice, naturally, practices would be better when he was positive, which was all the time. So naturally, a lot of our practices were great. But, there are times where you don't do the drill right, or you don't do the drill perfectly, and your coach is frustrated, and it's just a bad day of sorts. He always made sure, just no matter what, guys, we need to be positive. It's very important to be positive, Even in certain sports like volleyball, it's like, it's for me to learn, right? I'm sharing you guys my anecdotal experience. In volleyball, I was like, why are they so positive? Like, they just missed a dig, the spike came down, they missed the dig terribly. She could have easily got that one. Why are they high-fiving? Why are they so positive? And then I had to check myself, and I'm like, man, maybe it's the Gemini in me that's so yin and yang between thinking about positive thoughts and negative thoughts, but then choosing to proclaim positive thoughts into my reality. This is a couple years ago, mind you. But then I was like, man, it does pay to be positive. Like, it's very important to do that. It's very important to be positive. Being positive is just so contagious. So many people, and it's the same thing that goes from negativity. You're negative, and now everybody's negative. It's like in social media specifically, nobody can see each other face to face. So naturally, everybody is so negative because it's like you miss that human perception, Oh man, is it gonna start to rain really bad? I hope not. See, this is the hard part about doing it outside sometimes, is that it ends up raining. And that's why I wanted to do it inside. But I know you guys enjoy me being outside in the world and people walking by and people walking their dogs and stuff. So I'm going to keep going as long as I can with you guys. And if it gets really bad, then I'll just have to cut it. But positivity in your guys' life is something that you can choose every single day. I think it's very important for you guys to figure out what certain parts of my life am I not being positive in, and how can I fix that? How can I choose to be positive even though I don't feel like it? Maybe I just choose positive self-talk. Maybe I just proclaim out loud what I'd like to do, and then my subconscious will naturally follow. Trying to allow moments that make you mad or frustrated or whatever the case may be in your life to sit back and be like, you know what? I understand this is a negative thing that's going on in front of me. I choose to be positive. Practicing the art of noticing quickly, oh, wow, that was frustrating. Oh, that made me kind of mad. That made me kind of this or that negatively. Let me choose positivity. And now you get to work. It's like strengthening a muscle, I think a lot of people don't even know that they end up casting negative spells on yourself. This is deep waters here, but when you proclaim out loud to the universe, you are co-creating your reality, right? Whatever you say out loud, like I said, the man that thinks he does and he doesn't, the man that thinks life is positive and thinks it's negative, they're both right. Whatever life you choose to proclaim out loud, that's the one that comes to fruition. That is the one where the physical equivalent becomes inevitable, right? You need to have the perception to pay attention to what you're saying out loud. That's super important. Some people don't even realize that they're just casting negative spells on themselves all the time. Oh, when I missed my flight, I could have easily been like, oh, this is terrible, and this person is so weird, and they're mean, and this is dumb, and I can't believe I blah, blah, blah. I could spend time in that. But when it rains, it pours. My subconscious is listening, so they're like, okay, well, for right now, shit kind of sucks. So, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and we're not going to like this, and here comes this. Like, choosing self-awareness in positivity is important. This is what I'm trying to say. Choosing, I need to be very careful about what I say out loud. I need to choose to have perception about what I'm saying out loud, what I'm proclaiming out to the universe, even quietly to myself. If I have something negative, just keep it in my mind's eye. Just keep it there. Don't say it out loud, because we truly are casting spells on ourselves. So, I think positivity is something that's not easy. All the things that I talk about on these episodes, it's not like you can just start doing all of the things that I talk about. It takes persistence, Anything that was easy was not worth having. That's why it's so easy to delve into negative things like gambling and drugs and watching stuff that you're not supposed to watch, it's easy to be negative because that's the way this world was created. It's awesome how this reality has came to be. You have to choose to make good decisions. You have to choose to be positive, to have patience, to practice faith. It's truly funny how the game works, right? And you can complain about the game. Oh, life sucks. Oh, my job sucks. Oh, this person sucks. Oh, this. You can do that. That's the way that this reality was based. It's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to be negative. But you can look at your reality and change it to something positive. That's why it's like, I think the meaning to life, one of the meanings to life, is figuring out a way to take something that's negative in front of you. You can look at so many things that are negative, or you can take a moment and train your subconscious and make your reality heaven. Some people call it hell on earth. I like to call it heaven on earth. See what I'm saying? Your mind goes between both naturally. Sometimes it's heaven, sometimes it's hell. Can you choose to make it heaven all the time, even if it looks by hell? Because ultimately we walk by faith and not by sight. So in my mind's eye, in my faith, I see heaven on earth all the time. I enjoy everything that I do. I enjoy my friends, my family, things that I go about in business ventures, Although there may be things that I don't like, I know there's something to learn from that. And there's a level of positivity that I can choose in that instance to make me a better person. Or maybe I just be quiet because it's a very negative situation that I don't like. Maybe I'm just quiet and trying to figure out what there is to learn from this situation. How can I move forward? What's something? I'm the CEO of my life. I'm the co-creator with God of my reality. What do I need to change about this instance? So I don't experience the same thing again. Maybe it's a lesson for me to learn. Maybe I'm supposed to get bit in the ass and it really hurts and it wasn't smart. But next time I won't go do this thing or go hang out with this person or practice this thing, Positivity gives you self-awareness. Positivity allows you to be in the present moment and know that negative things are something for you to learn. But some people, negative things happen to them and they don't learn. They choose, they double fuck themselves, and I'm sorry for cursing so much. They choose to be negative about the situation and then don't learn from it. What a negative cycle you're putting yourself through. You're allowing the same things to happen to you again for you to be negative. It's a spiral downwards. They talk about your vibration, right? The let's catch a vibe. What is your vibration? Are you spiraling down constantly? Are you somebody that's just negative all the time? Capturing and bringing and attracting other negative individuals, negative thought processes, negative opportunities. You're the co-creator of your reality with God. He will give you the law of attraction states. Whatever you think about, whatever you talk about will come towards you. If you are in a spiraling negative vibrational state, naturally more negative things, instances, people, you name it, will come towards you. But if you choose to be positive, you choose to exist in this positive vibrational state, more positive people, more positive things, positive opportunities will come towards you. That's why they say, let's catch a vibe. I want to see your vibe. I want to see if you're like this or if you're like this or you're like this. There's some people that are like this and sometimes they go here and sometimes they're here, like where do you want to choose to exist? That's the very important question you need to ask yourself. Or you don't even have a choice. You don't even have the self-perception to realize, where do I exist? I don't even know. Maybe I need to pay more attention to myself. Maybe I need to take more walks by myself or talk to myself more. Go sit out in nature and talk to God and figure out, do I look at my life positively, negatively? Am I in the middle? Who am I? What relationship do I have with myself? Do I have any sense of mastery of self? Maybe that's why negative things keep happening to me, or I kind of just I feel like the world is based on luck and good things or bad things happen and I just got to take what comes. No. That's not the case. You can truly have positive things happen to you constantly because your mind's eye chooses it to happen. Even though there may be a negative instance in front of you, your mind's eye, your soul can choose positivity. Can choose it. You can choose positivity. Positivity just doesn't happen. Oh man, I've been so positive lately. I hope this doesn't end. It's like, no, you can choose to constantly be positive. So, all right, well, it's starting to rain a little bit, so we're going to do our guided meditation really quick. Okay, so find somewhere on the floor, somewhere on the ground, say crisscross applesauce, and if you don't mind, take a deep breath with me. So, 2 more. Deep breath in. 1 more. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to keep your eyes closed for me. I know I moved, but keep your eyes closed. I want you to quietly think about a peaceful place, right? A very peaceful place, whether it's the beach, a forest, whatever. I just want you to find that peaceful place for me. And what I want you to do is repeat after me in your mind's eye. I am positive. I am a positive person. My life is full of positivity and abundance. My life is full of gratitude. Positivity flows through my life. I learn from negative situations and allow the positive to take over because I choose to. I am the co-creator of my own reality with God. And therefore, I choose to have a positive existence. I choose to be positive. I choose it. And therefore it is. All right, you can open your eyes now. Sheesh, it is raining really bad. It's the first time I've had to change it like this. But in any case, I appreciate you guys. And like I said, I just want to give you thought-provoking concepts and things you can resonate with. I don't think I have all the answers. I'm just here to talk about my anecdotal experience. This feels really good to me. It feels like what I'm supposed to do. So here I am. So thankful for you guys. Life is good. Life is truly good. My hands are freezing. It's cold. My phone is wet. My $200 mic might be broken. But life is still good. I choose positivity. I choose it. It's mine. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow.